Okay, this video is about Pickwick syndrome, also called obesity hypoventilation syndrome. The name comes from the book Pickwick Papers by Charles Dickens, written in the early 1800s. And he was a fat guy, and so that's what it's really about. It's a disease that fat people get. It's really sort of the daytime version of obstructive sleep apnea, and it's called OHS, obesity hypoventilation syndrome. About 90% of them have obstructive sleep apnea. They're usually fat with a BMI over 30. Quite often the BMI is over, body mass index is over 40, because that big fat belly increases the work of breathing to get that diaphragm to go up and down. With their sleep apnea, they respond better to BiPAP than to CPAP. The spouse will notice that the patient snores. The fat belly, again, decreases the ability to lower the diaphragm, for example. They'll have hypoxia, decreased oxygen in their blood. They'll have hypercapnia, elevated CO2 in their blood, like let's say greater than 45 on an arterial blood gas while they're awake. Excuse me. They can have clubbed fingernails. The back pressure on the heart can lead to right-sided heart failure, cor pulmonale, pulmonary hypertension, so it's real bad. They can die from this. They have increased risk of heart attack, increased risk of stroke. And the big fat belly can get all of these things go together. The reason why I'm making this talk right now is I meant to include this in a recent talk I gave a couple days ago about abdominal diseases caused by high-fat diets. So you get a big fat belly, pushes on your inferior vena cava, that transmits increased venous pressure to the right side of your heart, which transmits increased venous pressure to your superior vena cava, which transmits increased venous pressure to your brain, so you get venous intracranial hypertension. And that can cause overall increased intracranial pressure, idiopathic intracranial hypertension, okay? And that can lead to all kinds of problems in the brain. We're not going to go into that right now. I've given previous lectures about it, but I'm just showing you all these diseases go together. So there's a whole bunch of diseases, because the higher the percentage of calories from fat, the fatter the population gets. So if you go to conventional medicine, they'll do a sleep study. They'll eventually put you on a bunch of pills, supplemental oxygen, BiPAP at night, etc. But the intelligent thing to do, the only definitive treatment, is to lose the weight. How do you lose weight? Eat a low-fat, plant-based diet. Ideally vegan diet. Okay, get your total amount of calories from fat down to around 5%. The weight will come right off. This is well known. To anybody who actually studies it. Most people never study it, but if you study it, that's well known. So anyways, this is Pickwick syndrome. I'll show you one more picture of it. Okay, obesity hypoventilation syndrome. They're going to have elevated CO2 in their blood on the blood gas. They're going to have hypoxia, decreased oxygen in their blood on the blood gas. They're going to be fat, BMI at least over 30. They're usually going to have sleep apnea. And like I said, the definitive treatment is have them lose weight, which means eat a low-fat vegan diet. Anyways, that's Pickwick syndrome, also known as obesity hypoventilation syndrome. I hope you found that helpful.